Ladies and gents, most creators are losing and they don't even know why. Views are dropping, channels with millions of subscribers are quietly dying. But Jace Bennett just passed 3 billion views on his channel, and he says going viral on purpose is still possible if you know the one story arc that makes any video addicting. In this episode, he breaks down how to spark emotion, engineer shares, and get people to actually come back and binge watch you forever. Most creators ignore this, but that's what makes it super valuable. Let's get into it. Ladies and gents, welcome to the podcast. Today I've got Jace Bennett from the Ohana Adventure YouTube channel, among a lot of other YouTube channels, as you guys are going to discover here in just a minute. Jace has been on YouTube for a very long time. He's made an extraordinarily large amount of money from YouTube. He has hundreds of billions, I would say. I almost said hundreds of millions, but you guys are in the B now, right, in terms of views?
I think we're coming up on 3 billion, or we just passed 3 billion views, give or take. But that's just on one channel on YouTube. If you add them all together, I don't know.
Multiple billions, and then not only have you had tremendous success on YouTube, but you've also had tremendous success on Instagram, TikTok, virtually all across all of the platforms. You guys have mastered them. Now you're in the family vlogging space. We talk to, I would say family vlogging / entertainment, right? Because you guys started in the family vlogging. Now you're mostly in kind of this, like, I guess YouTube has kind of merged a lot of these like categories together. So I would call it like vlog entertainment. The first thing that I want to talk about, though, I want to dive into virality. Obviously, with like multiple billions of views, you guys have figured out the key to success with creating viral content. What would you say are some of like the high level things that people need to pay attention to, especially like business owners? Like, it's easy to, from an entertainment perspective, like it's relatively easy to go viral. You just have to have a couple things put into place. But from a business owner perspective, the people who are watching, who are coaches, consultants, business owners, what are some of the things they need to be doing in order to enhance their odds of going viral?
Actually, my first YouTube channel was actually set up to sell a product. That was 2009. And then 2010 was when I finally started uploading, and it was skateboards. So I did everything you weren't supposed to do with skateboards that mine could handle to get people talking about it, to get people, the skaters like, dude, that actually works. The trolls are just ripping through those comments, making that all work for you. And then that's how I started selling my skateboards. So that was my first channel. And that one at the time, algorithms and all that, I think they've kind of gone back to that, which is start meaningful conversations, meaning get people commenting, not just 2-word comments, but 10, 15-word comments, and then responding back to it. And then they see that back and forth. That that helps us. It's an old school tactic, is get the comments going. But I mean, our podcast, I just launched a new channel this week, and these comments are like this long. And I'm responding back, and then all of a sudden it's getting a little uptick in recommended and suggested, and things are happening. And so it's kind of fun. I'm watching a brand new channel. It just hit its first 600 subs this week, and I don't know. It's kind of fun.
That's awesome, man. What would you say? Okay, so like meaningful conversations, right? So a lot of the things that I have done, I've run a lot of tests across a lot of different platforms. We've had millions and millions of views on some of our tests. And what I have found is anytime we kind of like tap into some controversy, and we can get people arguing in the comments, like it actually does very well, especially in short form.
It's
What do you mean by
debating. It's
meaningful
not
conversation?
arguing.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Debating, not arguing. It's still meaningful conversation. It's going a direction.
It's like dropping a spark in some gasoline. In some
Honestly,
cases.
some of these videos truly are, right?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Well, so we did a video a couple months ago. No, about a month and a half ago I was sick. I was in the hospital. My daughter Brayler, she came in, and I was like, "Hey, do a dance because we got to take advantage of me being in the hospital. Let's do this." She does this dance, and she captions it, dancing. So Ryan Reynolds will meet my dad before he dies, and it gets 53 million views, right? Explodes. And the comments were about 95% in support and like really like excited, and there were about 5% of people who were like
exploitation.
Well, it was yeah, it was like, my dad was actually terminally ill for months. How dare you?" And then the responses would be to those comments would be like, "You should have danced harder." Like, really, like,
Oh my gosh.
really, really, like, kind of yeah, we definitely, like, push some buttons with that one. But what do you consider meaningful conversations? Like, what are some ways to maybe not go that far, but to start meaningful conversations in a way that makes you feel a little bit
Yeah.
doesn't fire up the audience as much? Hey, if you're a business owner just like me, you're probably wondering, where are the leads going to come from? You're probably spending some money on Facebook. You're probably also doing some YouTube videos and some Instagram posts. After years of doing both in my business, I can definitively say that organic content on YouTube is the absolute best way to get leads. And the reason is because if you create content with the right strategy and you say the right things in your content, you can get views and you can get leads forever. One of the things that we do in every single one of our videos is use what's called a call to action. You guys are familiar with this term. Well, we have a couple dozen calls to actions that we use regularly in our content that keep leads flowing on autopilot. I get leads every single day from my YouTube videos. Some of these videos are years old and they're still driving leads. I have put all of my CTAs into this document. It's completely free. All you got to do is click right down here. I break down the psychology of why these CTAs work. And all you got to do is insert them into your scripts and you'll start to see more leads and more revenue. Click right here. All right, let's get back to it.
I think, and that's the thing is you don't want to piss people off, but you need to spark some emotion.
Yeah.
Because the emotion is what's going to get them to put their fingers on the keyboard or their thumbs on the screen, right? And so it has to spark some type of an emotion to where they're like, what? Like that first video I mentioned, we jumped over somebody's fence and skated skateboards in somebody's pool that was full of water. The boards were bamboo, means they're waterproof. The bearings were ceramic, means also they don't rust. I was like, underwater. I mean, it didn't take 2 minutes for them. RIP board. Is this what rich kids do? Is just waste money on ruining things and like crazy comments. And so I rolled up my sleeves and I was like, actually, the boards are da 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 da. And I realized that pitching the product to these kids immediately wasn't it.
Yeah.
And so then I tried trolling them. That was really fun, but not it either. And then after that, I went in and I was like, I don't know. I just start little conversations with people. I'm like, really, but have you ever tried putting your board underwater? Like, absolutely not. I'm like, well, these ones, and I did a little soft pitch. And I mean, I sold out. I only had 100 boards at the time, sold them all out in the next month or two. And then did it again, drove a van over a skateboard. And then not pitching boards. I don't sell them anymore. But it was really interesting trying to figure out something that would spark enough emotion. So in the family space, it's really hard because a lot of what we do is kind of maintain. We are not looking to go viral anymore.
Yeah.
If I do a music video, it'll go crazy.
Yep.
Right? I know exactly what I want and need to do in some of these parody music videos or other music videos to get people to want that sound in their playlist, but that's a totally different animal. And so for our family, we don't want virality, but we want people to talk about it. We want it to spark emotion, but not so much that people call CPS and do all the other weird things that they do to family content creators.
Sure.
And so we kind of, as our family content, stay away from the virality, but we have other channels that don't have our faces or names on them that we do. And we do like that. But that's an interesting question. It would be fun to actually start a new channel and just try to make viral content just for virality's sake instead of with a purpose. All of my channels have a purpose. And so it's really interesting to do virality just for virality. But to me, I would have to have a purpose for it, right? I mean, that's the point of trying to get it in front of all those eyes.
Well, let me just throw a scenario at you, right? So, like, again, we work with a lot of coaches and consultants. We work with people in the service-based industry. Where I've worked with plumbers. We've gotten them millions and millions of views and, blown up their businesses. What would you say, like, in if you were in my position, you were working with somebody like an insurance agent, for example, and he's like, Jace, I want to go viral. What are some of the key things that you would tell him to do in order to make a video go viral?
I just had some really bad ideas. Let me come up with some good ideas.
Hey man, we want these. Maybe we can clip this and get some viral shorts out of this too. So give us your bad ideas too.
Yeah, right. I mean, I just had a situation why I thought of this idea where all of these there was somebody that passed away. And this would be life insurance, not health insurance. Is this person
Okay.
life and health, and or are they in this scenario? Are they general insurance agent?
I was thinking auto and property casualty like auto home, but life and health
Okay.
works too. Either
Yeah,
way.
no, let's not go the death route. That's
Okay. Okay.
let's
Okay.
not go
Yeah,
that route.
I already did that. We jumped into that earlier.
Yeah. Um, but for auto, I mean, if you think of the mayhem videos, right?
Yeah.
The mayhem guy, right? A wreck, and it's that sparks emotion. You have that guy dangling off the back of a car. He's like, "Hey, I'm here to da 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 da," da, right? Or he wrecks a car into somebody. Now, this guy probably doesn't have the budget because if he's an insurance agent, he wants to make these viral videos without costing him a couple grand each.
Yep.
Unless they want to spend 5 grand and get into a parking lot and wreck a junker car. But if I was, gosh, this is right off the cuff. I would do just the same. I would do things you're probably not supposed to do as an illegal, but things that people, they're almost in the gray, right?
Yeah.
And like
Yeah,
that
that's good.
mayhem guy when he's in the car and he wrecks a car, or
Well, I
I
mean,
would
if you look at Mr. Beast, for example, he's throwing Lamborghinis into car crushers or like shredders. You know what I mean? Like
mm-hmm.
it's larger than life. It's something that you haven't seen before. It's taking a passion or something you've always wanted to see and like just jumping headfirst into it. But I think you hit the nail on the head when you were talking about your skateboarding. Like what you did, product demos, it's like nobody was skating underwater in pools before you were doing that. It was something that nobody's ever tried or nobody had ever done up to that point.
Yeah, no, that was the first. And then actually, the big thing was the biggest skateboarding channel at the time. They went and knocked off my video and gave me a little shout out to it. And so it was really cool, actually, for me being a skater, being in that, and them finally doing one. But they had scuba tanks, they had all sorts of stuff
Yeah.
to try to recreate. All I did was put the video in reverse. So we were jumping in the pool backwards, and I put it reverse like we were going up, right? So we're going up, and then we did jump in and do it normal, but legit, it was me learning Photoshop, watching YouTube videos, and it was just reverse and then forward, reverse, and then
Yeah. Yeah.
so it was really
No,
easy.
no,
It
no.
took us an
That's good, man.
afternoon, but
What's your highest viewed video at the moment?
I
Is it the
think
parody?
our music video,
The Taylor Swift parody?
I think that one, I think it's above 130 million, might be 140 million. It's still getting hundreds of thousands of views, or at least 100,000 a day. I mean, it's still going crazy, which is
So
crazy that we're not doing music videos anymore.
Right. Yeah. No, I think about that all the time because, I've done a number of parody music videos myself. And they've almost always done really well.
Mm-hmm.
I did it's funny during the 2020 election, I did a pro Trump rap and
Oh my god.
that one went viral. Team Trump shared it on Twitter. Like it took off. There is power in music videos. What would you say, for people, and I see this all the time too, these guys who I've seen it in like the funnel space or they like do a rap video.
Yep.
I've seen a number of like parodies in the business space. What's kind of the secret to success in the parody music video space? What do you think made that video get hundreds of millions of views?
Well, there's one thing that did that isn't something it was the unintended consequence of something, but I think parody music videos, you're allowed to go somewhere that the original artist couldn't,
Sure.
but other people might have thought of, right? What was that one? The Despacito, the guy did it in my Speedo. Did you ever see
Yeah.
that one? It was
Yeah.
all over the place, right?
Yeah.
So you're allowed to do, because you're allowed to do it. It's parody space. You're allowed to go where the original artist couldn't, but a lot of other people thought about. Nobody thought about the Speedo one. Maybe they did. I don't know. But you're allowed to do those things that they couldn't do. And so it opens up this whole, I mean, Weird Al was, I mean, it
Wow.
was perfect. All the things he did, the original artist would have never ever done. And yet, because it was parody, he did. And so I think there's a lot of these Apple and Microsoft and these other ones when they do these product launches. I never heard about the product launch, but I definitely heard everybody hating on the rap video they did on stage during the product launch.
Yeah.
Right? The rap about the new Pixel phone or whatever it was. I had no clue there was a new Pixel out, but I definitely remember the quirky, weird dance moves that when I scrolled through and I was like, but it did let me know that the new phone was out though. So everybody hating on that, no press is bad press. I'm sorry, it's still a thing.
It really is. Yeah, yeah, no, it really is. Yeah, I think, you know, if I were to, like, analyze parody too, it's like you're taking something familiar that everybody loves, right? For you guys, what was it? What song was it? Was Shake It Off or was it something else?
No, this one was
It was
I don't
before
even
Shake
know
It
the
Off.
actual name of the song anymore.
I don't
It
remember either.
was the Reputation one. Oh my gosh. I don't even remember what the
I
actual
mean, I
name because
remember the
all I know is our
video.
parody.
Yeah, you
I'm
guys
looking it
crushed the
up.
video, it was great, but, so I think that there was number 1, like, the song was
Look
good,
what you
like
made me do.
yes, that's right, that's right. So number 1, your daughter did a great job singing it. Number 2, the dance moves were, like, well choreographed, so it was like it was well done. And, 3, the lyrics were fun, and 4, it was a trending song, right? So you're, like,
Yeah.
taking something that everybody already knows, they're singing along with, you're giving it a new twist, and you're doing it really well. I would say like the people who fail at parodies, in my opinion, are the ones who, if they don't make up for it in the lyrics, like the lyrics got to be really really funny, then you're gonna fall flat if the video isn't done well, right?
Yeah, because they'll like the original song better anyways.
Yes. Yep.
Right? But if the
Exactly.
parody, so for us, here's our kind of our sauce for
Yeah.
parody videos. It has to be a brand new song that's going crazy.
Okay.
And then it depends on the audience. If the audience is 22-year-old males, this new song comes out, we're going to make
Mhm.
it on a subject that 22-year-old males are going to think is hilarious. Right?
Correct.
Something like your wingman at the club, or I don't know, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
for us, it was 13-year-old girls. This song came out, 13-year-old girls. And so what we did is we did 5 videos before the music video came out, and then
Uh-huh.
5 videos after the music video because we knew the music video would make no money. And
Yes. Yeah.
so all of a sudden, our daughter has this crush, and she's a teen. And then after that, it was, oh, you know what? She's too embarrassed to talk to him, but a dance is coming up. Oh
Yeah.
no, she asked him to do the dance, but that didn't work out well. And then music video drops. So
So
everybody
was
on
that
our
was that
channel is
staged?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Good.
Every music video that we did, we wrote 3 to 5 videos beforehand to preempt. Like our daughter got braces, and there was a Macklemore song coming out.
Yeah.
And so we had all these videos about her braces, and then we dropped Braces, the music video.
Excellent. Excellent.
And what was interesting is in all of our cards in the music video, it goes back to our original Braces video.
Mhm.
The Braces video has 12 million something views and has made, it was $45,000. Because it was like 30
Wow.
minutes long of her getting braces. So everybody hears her
Yeah.
singing slash rapping about how horrible braces are with jerky in your teeth and your
Yeah.
grill and all this stuff. And they're clicking on our original video that was actually monetizable. And so
Uh-huh.
that one crushed it and it made so much money. So it's the strategy of if you're going to do a viral one, what's going before it, what's going after it, so that you can actually capitalize on the virality instead of just, it gets a good scroll, but doesn't actually do anything for you.
So from the entertainer standpoint, right? Super important. It's like the lead up and then what happens after, right? What's the journey you take the audience on? Um and in all honesty, we left the family space in 2019. We've created probably a handful of videos since 2019. We did over 1,000 in those 5 years between 2014 and 2019, but
I
we didn't play
remember.
the game like you guys played the game. You guys really, really played the game well, and we're very strategic about it. Where we never really did that. Do you think that's what it takes? like to be strategic, specifically in the entertainment space? Do you think that's what it takes now? I mean, you look at people like the Ace family, for example, now that they're kind of broken up, which is kind of a sad, that's a different topic for another day. But they came up after all of us kind of rose up,
Hmm.
and then instantly, like, boom, explosion.
Yeah.
Um, do you think that it's mostly strategy in the entertainment space now, or do you think that there is anybody that's like still just kind of like, I'm just doing my daily vlog and can be successful that way?
It's all strategy. It's all strategy. There is,
Ah, bummer.
I won't put them under the bus, but there's two channels that look like they're just normal,
Yeah.
but they have 7 people strategizing over everything. They're constantly with YouTube strategists. They're constantly paying the who's who to help them out. But it looks like it's just a normal day. This is just what's going on. But they are watching trends, and then they have 2 writers that are writing their life into whatever trend is coming up, so they coincide, bounce off each other, and go.
Oof.
It's very, very strategic. We are not as strategic, and that's
Yeah.
why ours right now, our family stuff, isn't as big because we don't. We're still, so what you said earlier, we call it a vlalenge. I'm sorry,
Okay.
it's just what
Yeah.
we call it. It's a vlog, so it starts off
It's
with
cute.
our
It's
day.
cute. That's
Here's our
cute, man.
family. Then we chuck a little challenge in there to give them
Yeah.
some little dopamine hits and what's going on, and then we end it off with the rest of our day. Um,
So you
and we've been doing that
strategically
since
insert
2019.
stakes.
Hmm?
You strategically insert stakes into
Yes,
your daily vlogs.
yeah, because if not, we don't want to compete on who had the gnarliest day anymore. That's what we didn't want
Yeah.
to keep doing. And so what we've done though is those challenges, those little things will match up with pop culture moments that are going. They will match up with things that are happening. Maybe we'll have to do a little election to see which of our kids is able to babysit the rest while we go out of town. So there's a little bit of election. I mean, I won't do that because I do not want people scrolling election stuff to find my family. But
Sure.
still, like,
Yeah.
that's the way my brain works is, oh, there's this asteroid coming. Okay, let's do a funny anyway. So I think you have to be strategic if you want to make money off it. If you're just doing a family journal, that's great. But if
Yeah.
you actually want to make money off it, you've got to find a way to tweak things a little bit so that it allows algorithms to point at you and people to be interested.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. So from a business owner standpoint, how do business owners inject um, these little things into their content to make them more watchable, and then to get people to come back? Right? Again, take a
Yeah.
let's take a like a dietitian coach, right? Somebody who's just
Mhm.
like, I'm going to teach people how to become more healthy. How do they get people to want to come back to them?
So I just had an idea for your insurance guy too. So for the
Okay, let's hit the insurance
dietitian,
guy. Yeah.
well, for the dietitian, it would be, what is the latest food hack that everyone's trying, right?
Okay,
And
that's
then
good.
you can then be like, okay, actually, right now it's keto and this and that. Now there are good ways and bad ways, or the worst way to do keto, or 10 worst things that keto can do for you, 10 best things it can do for you. You
Yeah.
could come up with probably 15, 20 videos just using that kind of push. But I mean, same for the insurance agent, right? The insurance agent, he could be scrolling Hollywood or have a little RSF or a little feed going of any weird things going in Hollywood. So and so wrecked a car.
Yeah.
All right, well, guys, so and so wrecked his car, and let's play this back. And here's my take, right? They could do a takes whenever those things do happen. And in between that, have knowledgeable stuff, little snippets or full videos, whatever their content style is. And so use that pop culture and people scrolling to get your face in there. And the people that like your take, hopefully you can take them with you and lead them to your business, your page, to where you could be, if you really were in on it, you would be the person they listen to for this kind of stuff. So when it came time to switch insurance, like, you know what, this YouTube dude, I wonder if he actually does it because I really like what he says. Anyways,
No, no, that's great, man. I'm actually really glad that you got there because I have this is one that I kind of go back to when I do like stage presentations or anything like that. I'm like, hey, take it, for example, a property casualty insurance agent. the thing that I always the strategy that I always drop, because sometimes there's always, like, when I'm talking to business owners, there's always an insurance agent in the audience. The strategy I always drop is car crash compilations, right?
Oh
It's
my gosh.
you need to be one of those guys who's watching car wrecks, and then you're reacting to them, but you're also talking about how much money it's going to cost to fix that Mercedes and what type
Yep.
of insurance that person should have had. But I love your idea with the Hollywood side of things too. It's like, yeah, John Krasinski gets in a car accident, or Justin Timberlake, he just got a DUI, right? Like,
Yeah.
talk about that.
Yeah.
Talk about how much his
That's
insurance is going to go up now.
Yep, right there. I
Yeah.
have a buddy, he's worked in the ER forever. He wanted to do more with Instagram, more with other stuff. And it doesn't give the ER any more business. Well, maybe it does. But he takes the crazy fail videos
Yeah.
and he plays the fail video. And right when they're about to slam, he picks up the phone. He's like, okay, we've got to. And sometimes he's pretty crass. And sometimes he's not. And he's just super fun. He's like, all right, we've got no, I'm not. You know what? I'm going to send him in there to you. But don't tell me what you find up in there because I already saw what he fell on. But yeah, you need to get in there quick, right? Like a really funny take. I wish there was some business, but his account grew 100,000 followers in a couple months just with these. And they're all fails I had already seen, but his take on it was so hilarious that it made it way funnier, even though, man, some of those falls I cringe on. But that's coming from a skater. So
Yeah. They're it's hard to watch sometimes, and for some reason my account just flooded with them. So, okay, all right, man. So we talked about virality, got some good points there. I love it. I want to move the conversation to money making. Right. Bottom line is, business owners who are using YouTube, the primary focus is ROI. It's bottom line.
yeah.
How do business owners? I mean, you guys have been fortunate enough to make a lot of money from ad revenue, but I also know you've sold merch. I also know you've sold products and things like that. What is the secret to selling with YouTube, or what are your secrets to selling with YouTube?
So for us, if you need to build trust first, right? So if
Yeah.
you wanted to sell some hair clips, actually, I've got a better story because this is about to launch. So
Okay.
if you are always known on your videos for having chapped lips, and everyone's like, man, you got to put some on those lips. Your lips are so chapped. They're so chapped. There you go. So this is a YouTuber that doesn't have a product yet. Chapped lips, chapped lips, chapped lips, chapped lips. They called me. They're like, I need to do a product. I'm like, all right, let me look at your channel. Let me look what's going on. And they had all these hair clips and jewelry and, all the normal things people would want to release. And I went, wait a second. I went through the comments. I'm like, hey, so what's up with your chapped lips? And like, oh my gosh, don't even talk about it. Everybody always makes fun of me for my chapped lips. They used to call me ashy lips and nah. And I was like, you need to release a chapstick. You need to go do some studies. I'll help you find, some good ones that use natural this and that. And you need to test them and do all sorts of stuff. And then you need to release a chapstick because everyone knows that is an issue for you. And when you put your name on it, they're like, oh, I got to have that because this has been a thing for a long time. And so what we did on our channel, we were releasing some products a while ago. And so we started, like the music videos, we started building that story along the way. And so then by the time it was like, you know what, you guys, we're always freezing cold when we're traveling. We're always this and that. So we came up with a blanket that you can pack super small, but when you get on a plane, you don't freeze it. When you get in the car and your husband has to have it cold or else he's going to fall asleep, you in the passenger seat can put this blanket out there, sold tons. But so I think what I've seen with a lot of business owners is they try to make a video, bring the product in right away, and then sell it. Instead of trying to tell a story, because that's what people come onto these platforms for. Whether it's a short story that's 5 seconds long, but still, old marketing adage is that you need to touch somebody 7 times before they're going to do anything about it, right?
Right.
Your product needs to be in front of them 7 times before they'll actually make a move. And so we cut it down to 5 videos for those, but I've always, anything I'm going to release to sell, anything I want people to really go after, I try to have,
You're seeding it.
sometimes I've tried 3, but 7 really is good. where all of a sudden that seventh one, everybody is reacting.
Yeah.
And so we try to write, I don't know, it's YouTube isn't a quick fix. I think a lot of TikTok, Instagram, shorts, it seems like a quick fix, but you got to touch people. And I'm sorry for the phrase, but you know what I mean.
I know
Marketing
what you mean.
touch them. Um, all these phrases I'm trying to use and they're not any better. But get in front of them that many times before they're actually going to do something about it. And so for the insurance guy, your first video is not going to go crazy. Even if it does, you're not going to get new clients off of it. That seventh video, probably going to get some clients, sell your product. And so I think it's, especially with YouTube algorithms and all that, there's that barrier to entry. It takes a long time for these platforms to know who you are and to
Yeah.
know who to feed your content to.
So yeah, actually, you inadvertently, let me back up just for a second, because a lot of our clients are already business owners. They're coming to YouTube specifically to help grow their business. So from like
Mhm.
video one, they're very focused on growing their business. But I think your point still actually holds true to those folks who aren't, they're not building like a long-term campaign, or they're not necessarily always thinking about how to build a long-term campaign. But the mentality has to switch. It's got to shift from I'm going to make money on my very first video to I'm going to give value on my very first video, and I'm going to build the trust so that way when it comes time for me to promote my product or have a call to action to a link in the description, they're primed and ready to go and they already like me. As opposed to, hey, what's up, you guys? Today I'm going to talk about insurance, and I'm going to show you why you want to buy. Make sure you click that link in the description below because I'm your insurance guy. Like we're just like, blah, that's too much.
Yep.
Um,
Comedy ones first, epic.
yeah.
Or explainers and how things could go wrong and this and that, also great. But I don't know many businesses where the best strategy is reap and then sow.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
you really, if you want to build an actual audience instead of just, the sexy numbers, I mean, those numbers just aren't sexy anymore. I mean, the vanity metrics, vanity
Right.
metrics don't get you paid, but that's what people want. And that's why, to this day, I had a guy just contact me. He's like, hey, bro, so what do I do about all these followers I paid for? I'm like, start a new channel. Start a new channel. Start a new channel.
Every
Change
time.
the name. You ruined it already.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I
You're
think
toast.
and it doesn't have to be super long term. 5 shorts that are 10 seconds long is enough sometimes to get people to come to your stuff. It doesn't have to be 10, 30-minute YouTube vlogs about your corporation. Do you remember my company product?
Yeah.
It's still there. I'm just not a part of it anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was, yeah, good thing, not bad thing, good thing.
Nice. Good.
But what we would do with influencers is YouTubers, podcasters, Instagrammers, we would take them with us to whatever factory was making their widget. And we would actually have them vlog, whether it was just in stories, whether it was videos, whatever type of content style they had. We actually came up with strategies with them to have them, hey guys, so I've got this idea, not going to show you yet. And I'm actually flying overseas to Vietnam, Bangladesh, China, wherever it is, Tennessee, wherever we're going for it, wherever it's being made. And then the next video is, all right, you guys, I'm here and we're going to go to the factory. I'm going to give you a tour. I've met the people here. I've met the factory owner. It's so great. And then they go in and they sit down and they lace their first shoe on the line. Whether it's the first one or not, we don't know.
Yeah.
But that's
Right.
what the story is. And they lace the shoe, they put it together, they show them, and they've filmed all this. They hold it for months till the product is ready. And then this starts happening the week before launch. And so then they're like, you guys, the shoe is ready. You can click below. And what's weird is that doesn't make sense to me. So if they say click below, I'm thinking, well, if you're there making the shoe right now, it's going to be 6 months before it's touchable. But nobody thinks like that. They want it then, they want it now. They're all Veruca Salt, right? And they click it, they want the shoe to show up the next day, and it went gangbusters. Every time we did it like that, we had a few lead up, then the video, we didn't get the, oh man, you're just making Chinese crap, because they actually were sitting there on the line making it, talking to the
Yeah.
people on the line with them, going to lunch with the factory owner. It
Yeah.
got rid of all the trolls. It was super, super
Weaving them
cool.
into the story.
Yeah.
Very
And they're
cool.
invested. They're like, wait, they're traveling, they're doing this. Oh, they're actually going to make that product. But way before that, we had them polling their audience, which typically they already knew what they wanted to make, but we had them poll their audience, say, what if I did this? Hey guys, of these products, which is your favorite? And it really primed their audience. But this is for an influencer making a product, not a business owner trying to become an influencer. But it stays the same. For what I've seen is it takes a few more times to get people ready to pull the wallet out and swipe the card, or to click the link below, or to whatever action is taken. It takes a little bit more trust before you can get them there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's not sexy. But that's okay because I got time.
Well, I mean, most people I mean, it's just like the entrepreneur's journey, right? It's like everybody wants what you have when you're successful. Nobody wants what it took to get there, right?
Yeah.
Nobody
Yeah.
wants to be like, yeah, I'm going to grind for 10 years in order to make millions
Yeah.
of dollars. Like they're just like, oh, he makes millions of dollars. I want that. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's the same thing with YouTube. It's the same thing with all of this stuff. They don't, most people just want to like turn a camera on, press record, shoot a video, have it get millions of views and make them millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is like most people don't even get 10,000 subscribers until they've been a couple years into it.
Yeah.
I mean, we hit, I think on our family vlog, we got 20,000 subscribers at like 2 years. And then it was like 6 more months until we hit 100,000. And then it was just like,
Yeah.
it grew so fast at that point. But it took us a long time to figure out what it was that was going to be successful. Nobody wants to talk about that though. They don't want to grind for that long.
No. Well, and like these music videos, nobody knew that we were priming the audience for 5 videos before the music video came out. That's that part of the iceberg nobody looks at. They're like, wow, your guys' thing hit. Congratulations. I'm like,
Right.
Thank you. This is what it took to get there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, again, like you were talking about, with a couple of families that have 7 strategists, or 7 people working on the back end, like they make it look so raw and casual that everybody's like, oh, I can do that. And you're like, well, yeah, if you've got, 15K a month to spend on production, sure.
Yep. At
But
least for those families, that's yeah, they're spending more than that, but they're making a hefty 6 figures a month.
yeah,
Not just barely 6 figures, a hefty 6 figures a month on that. And so it is worth it if you can build it to keep going like that, but it just depends what you want, right? Like our family, we had a choice to go and do that, and we chose not to go that route, and we scaled back.
Yeah.
Because I'm all about lifestyle. I want to be able to wake up in the morning not pissed off that I have to do all these things today. I want to wake up in the morning and be like, hey kids, let's go and actually do this. I don't want it to be so big that we're controlled by it, because I've had companies that controlled me, and that was the worst time of my life.
Right. And this is self-inflicted if you decide to do that with YouTube, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what I mean, that brings up a good question is like, you've been doing this for 10 years, right? 10 years? I mean, with the Ohana adventure?
Family channel. Yeah. It's about to hit 10.
So almost 10 years. And you guys are releasing how many pieces of content a week?
We scaled it back about a year ago to 1 a week now.
1 video on that channel, but in your entire ecosystem, how many videos a week?
It's probably still 7 or 8 in the whole ecosystem. It used to be 17.
Yeah. Okay.
17 a week before.
7 or 8 videos in the whole ecosystem. How do you not fry your brain and want to just die?
Yeah. No kidding. So at one point, my wife fired me from the family channel. Then a few years later, she brought me back. She literally was crying when she fired me. It was hilarious. And then
this is the
I'm only
insider
saying
secrets.
this, maybe she won't
channel.
watch this. But then she tried to hire me back and make me creative director. And I was like, no, you fired me. I don't want back in.
Yeah. Yeah.
But with us, we literally have segmented the channels that they're not alike at all.
Uh-huh.
And so it's been pretty easy to be like, oh, you know what? For our podcast, we should record this. And we have these notes that are shared between us, and we'll throw ideas in there. And then every Monday with the entire family for 2 hours, we go over the week's schedule, we go over the videos, we go over where they're at, we go over all the things. And it's our family council. And we do that every Monday, and we have for probably 7 years,
Nice.
maybe six. And we literally bring everybody on board. We go over it, and we'll kick out dirt ideas. We'll bring in some other ideas. Some weeks I've just said, you know what, guys, we're just tossing the whole thing and we're going to go camping.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. That's great, man. I mean, so I time block, from again for the business owner perspective. I love what you said there. I think it really like goes hand in hand with the schedule I've set up. So I time block every Tuesday, take the entire day off, and I just create content. And that's written content. It's shorts. It's longs. I'll try to knock out 3 long form pieces of content
Wow.
on Tuesdays, and I'll do probably 10 to 20 shorts,
Wow.
depending on how we're doing them, and then all of my written content as well. Um, and then I'm also strategically planning for like, okay, what's next? I'm always on the prowl for like, always on the hunt for topics for
Hmm.
what's impacting the creator economy. But I love that you plan out time. I think it's super super important. Okay, last question for people who are starting YouTube channels at the end of 2024, moving into 2025, what should they be focusing on right now, in your opinion?
As in subject, I mean, for me, I tell everybody, what is something you could do for 10 years and stay passionate about?
Okay,
My
let's
thing
hear it.
was, I wanted to get paid to play with my kids. My dad is a workaholic, he's very good at it. And the way he shows love is by working. And so for me, I overcorrected on that one. And I spend all day long with my family. We're always together. And so for us, I mean, we just started another channel, or I did. And I've got some friends that just started channels. And that's kind of the thing. It's a boring question, but I've asked them, I'm like, could you do this for 10 years passionately?
Yeah,
Could you actually be excited to make this type of content or sell this product that you're working on and different variations of it for 10 years? Could you do it? And another question that Richie asked me a long time ago was, if you didn't, tweak it, because would you regret not doing this when you're 80? Would you
ooh,
regret not trying this when you're 80 years old and you're looking back? Are you going to be, because some friends of ours, they're like, oh man, we don't want to do it, but we should, we shouldn't, we shouldn't. And I asked them, I said, when you guys are 80, will you have regretted not trying this? Because we're here to help you. We're here to help you launch. Well, they just hit 4 million subs. They're making tons of money. And I can't imagine if they didn't do it because of the situation they were in beforehand. And so, can you do it for 10 years? And if that seems daunting, tweak it so you can figure out how you can. Because if you didn't do it, will you regret it when you're 80? Not doing it, not trying it at least.
that's good, man. That's really powerful. Jace, thanks so much for joining me today. I appreciate all your insights. I know, you're not exactly in the business space, but at the same time, we're all, it all, there's a Venn diagram overlap, right?
Yeah.
And where
Well,
can
and it's a
people find you?
business.
What? Yeah,
You got
I
to
mean, it
treat it
is
as a business, right?
a
Like, or else, I mean, it's
100%.
fun to just do. But if these are business owners doing it, that means time. Time means money. Money means
Yep,
sacrifice. I mean, so really get into the strategy. So I hope people are calling you and going through this, and because it's so fun and
yep.
it's so productive. Like the
Love
doors
it.
that have opened from starting our YouTube channels, I can't even tell you. Like I had fun doing business. I was doing pretty okay before all this. But the things I've been able to go and do and the people I've seen, the countries I've been to, like I would have never imagined this ever. So yeah, man.
It's awesome. Yeah, there is that like that side effect that I don't think a lot of people understand. It's like as soon as you start creating content, there's a perception of you that is built among the masses, and that is that you're willing to do something that a lot of other people aren't willing to do. and you should be taken seriously. So it does
Yeah.
open a lot of doors.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, brother. Where can people find you? What do you wanna promote?
I don't even know. Just Jace Bennett. I think on any platform that should be my name. I think that's just JaseBennett. That's Instagram. That's Twitter, X, TikTok. I'm about to relaunch. I was just under 1 million followers, and then I cut it in 2020. So I'm gonna go back in there now. I think the algorithm's better now, so I'm gonna go back in there and start doing that again. So, yeah, man, any of those.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. You guys heard it. Go follow Jace and all of his socials. All right, thanks, man. I appreciate the time, and we'll bring you back on someday.
Yeah, cool.